Hey guys, welcome back to today's video, or welcome back to my channel. These are all the books I read in December. I read a total of 9 books in December, and let me just say, lots and lots of new favorites, and here comes Olive. Lots and lots of old favorites. So let's get into this and yap about all the books I read in December. This might be one of my favorite reading months of all time. The first book that I read in December was Beartown by Fredrik Backman. If you don't know, I read My Friends, and she's leaving now. My Friends earlier this year, I think it was like May or so, I don't remember. Read that, was obsessed with it, loved it, and I've been anticipating reading the Beartown series for quite a while, like before My Friends, and I finally read it. Beartown's hockey team has, their biggest rival is the hockey team in Head, and they butt heads all the time. There's a lot of issues, there's a lot of discourse, and this is just basically following the struggles of living in a small town and different experiences within it, especially a small town who has certain ways and things they do and what they do to go about things. They have their own customs. So we're kind of following a bunch of different characters and living in the small town along with in Head too, and following them, one as just like a hockey team, and two just like as individual people, and we understand and learn so much about so many different characters and connect to so many different characters. So very good, very emotional, I will say. I was flabbergasted, I was raging, I was crying, I love a literary fiction book. I love it when books can draw out these emotions in me, and nothing gets me like a literary fiction book, because it's so character driven. You learn so much about these characters and these people, and you feel so connected to them. I know them. I really enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the storyline, the plot line. It just did something to my heart and to my soul, and I will think about this book forever. It will just always cross my mind, and I would definitely reread this so many times. Like, this is definitely going to go into the cycle of rereads that I do, because I'm obsessed. It was so good. I love it. I love it. Overall, based on that, 5 stars, obviously. And I fully expected it. I literally went into this trilogy being like, one, if not all of these are going to be a 5-star. So I was right. And yeah, I'm excited. This book is so good. I can't. I have no words. Amazing, beautiful writing. Fredrik Backman is literally one of my favorite authors of all time. I'm obsessed with him. I love him. He writes such good books. The next book I read, I started reading middle of November, I think, and I was just slowly getting through it, and I was not invested at all. Like, I could give 2 fucks about this book. I was like reading it super slow. I was reading a bunch of different books in between it. I just like didn't really care. And then beginning of December, I was like, we need to finish this book so that I can move on and read more interesting books that are actually on my list that I'm excited about, that I want to read. And that is Breaking Dawn. Still following Bella and Edward and their story. It's thick. We're just kind of closing off their story, closing off the series, closing off the book, whatever. There's a bunch of different parts. We get Jacob's point of view, we get Bella's point of view. We see so many different things. And I think mainly I wasn't as invested was because I've watched the movies, so I didn't really care, because like I know what happens. But that could be said the same with like Twilight, and I like Twilight a lot. Like, the first book was my favorite one. It was just so cozy and nostalgic. So yeah, wasn't my favorite out of the series. Probably this might be my least favorite, if not Eclipse. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I couldn't get into it until like the end. I kind of binge read the end because like I knew it was gonna happen. But I was definitely reading it just so I can get through it and get it out of the way, because I can't not finish a book. So overall, 3 stars. wasn't my favorite, but we moved on. I'm not picking up the series again. I'm done with it. I'm chilling. The next book I read was Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. First of all, look at the cover. Look at how beautiful the cover is. Look at the sprayed edges. Like, come on. India got this for me for my birthday / Christmas. I'm so excited. I literally read this beginning of December, and then she just bought me the copy because I read it on my Kindle. This is following Harriet and Nolan, and Nolan is the ghost of Christmas past, and he is haunting Harriet, and he's helping her because he's supposed to go visit these bad people and change their perspectives so that they can go on to the ghost of Christmas present and grow as a person. But they're like, there was this whole confusion with Harriet and like what from her past is the reason why he's haunting her and has to help her move forward. So yeah, they both visit her memories and try to figure out things from her past, which can lead to her growth in a way. Nolan, oh my god, he is in my book boyfriend list. I'm obsessed with him. I love him. This book was so cute, so cozy. It was so magical, like the magical aspect of it was so good, so cute. The whole like Christmas cozy plotline was amazing. I loved them jumping through the memories. Like that was so cool and so cute, and I was just like obsessed. And Harriet, while I was reading this, I was like, she is literally me. Like, I love her so much. When I read Harriet, I'm like, that's me. I've never related to a character as much as I related to her. Like, she is such a people pleaser. She really struggles to speak out for herself and defend herself. And she's just got the sweetest soul ever, and she's just so amazing, so perfect. I love her so much. I immediately rated this 5 stars after finishing it. I thought it was so cute. It tugged on my heartstrings. The slow burn, the build up, it was so good. The ending was so good, so cute. I did cry at the end. It was so good. Immediately 5 stars. Like, I was thinking about this so much. It was so good, so cute. Literally, look at the cover. I just like to stare at it. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Perfect Christmas read. I will be rereading this every December. I'm not even lying. Like, it's amazing. Next book I read was Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo, finishing off the Grishaverse. Read it all in 2025. I started with Shadow and Bone, that trilogy, kept it going, finished it off with the King of Scars duology, and I finally finished the last book for King of Scars. So good. Basically, we're following 3 different characters. Nikolai, which I love, you meet him in Shadow and Bone. Zoya, love her, meet her in Shadow and Bone as well. And Nina, which is she's a very prevalent character in the Six of Crows duology, and she also has her own point of view within this book. Every character's point of view was just so interesting. Like, it would switch, and I'd be like, damn it. It was just getting good with, like, Nina. And then it would switch to Zoya, and then I would be hooked with Zoya, then I'd be hooked with Nikolai. It always kept me on my toes, and different things were always happening, and the build-up and the plot twists in this were crazy. I was, like, at the edge of my seat. It was so good. The first part of it was a lot slower until the end, and then once I made it past that part, I binge read it. I was hooked. I was invested in this book, this series, and I thought it was like a perfect way to close off the series, especially with Six of Crows. I didn't get that closure that I wanted with one character. Not even just one character, a few characters, but now I have like sort of like some closure with this one character, And I feel better about Six of Crows because of this and King of Scars. Like, I was just like, that's perfect way to end it. I really hope Leigh Bardugo in future books that she writes gets more into other characters from Six of Crows that I didn't get that closure that I needed from. If you know, you know. But King of Scars was so good. Rated it 4.5 stars. It was amazing. The fantasy world and the war and all that shit was so interesting, and it literally, I was so stressed. Like, I felt like I was there with them struggling and doing these things, going on these missions, and I was like genuinely so stressed, and that really made me enjoy it, because like I was anticipating it so much. So yeah, 4.5 stars, really good. Officially finished the Grishaverse. As of right now, she could come out with more books. I'd be okay with that. This is where we're getting into some rereads. Because here, let me just explain why first before we get into it. Basically, my birthday was in December, my 21st. Yay. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, it would be such a fun idea to reread a few of my 5 stars as a birthday gift to myself. I just thought that would be so fun, and I could definitely make this a yearly tradition, but with different 5 stars that I really like, really enjoy. And as you know, I have been rereading the Keeper of the Lost City series, my favorite series of all time, and annotating it. And it just so happened to work out, not just so happened, I kind of planned it actually, that I was on the 8th book. Hadn't started yet. I just finished the 7th book in November, so I was like, we're on book 8. Let's read it, because book 8 is my first 5 star in the series. So obviously, are we surprised? No, we're not. Had to read Legacy. Look at the annotations. I ran out of the dark blue, so that's why there's light blue ones. Obviously had to read this. I'm not going to go into too much detail with like the actual plot of it, just because you just have to read the whole series to understand what's happening in this, and it will spoil if I explain what's happening in this for all the other books. Basically, we're following Sophie. She's an elf. There's multiple rebellions, and there's counselors, and their whole system with like the elves system and how they run the lost cities is just kind of not working. Things are very outdated, and there needs to be change, very obviously. And we're following Sophie kind of taking these challenges head on and going on so many different adventures. There's with the different rebellions and with her friends that she makes, like the different characters. She has such a good group. Like the found family in this is just amazing, and the characters are so good. Like, these characters are my best friends. So that's kind of just the gist of it. We're just going on adventures with Sophie, so the 8th book is continuing those adventures. It is one of my favorites. I'm obsessed. I love it. So obviously still a 5 star. I can't get over these books. Like, if my memories were taken away, I would reread the series for the first time. I wish I could. Because it literally, like, I started reading this series in 5th grade. It changed my life. I'm obsessed with these characters and this story. And I'm committed. It's not even done yet. And I'm still here buying every single book that comes out. Shannon Messenger has ruined me. So, obviously, 5 stars still. I love it. And I binge read it so fast because it was so good. Okay, next, obviously, we're keeping up with the rereads. I haven't read this book since 2023, I think. Like, February of 2023. No. February 2024. No. Yes. Yeah. I haven't read this book since February of 2024, so it's been a minute. It's almost been a year, or not a year, 2 years since I've read it. And that is better than the movies. I can't. This is following Wes and Liz. Oh my god, Wes and Liz! And they are neighbors, and they basically always fight over this one parking spot in front of the house, both their houses, because it's closer and then they don't have to trek from a different parking spot that's farther away. And they're kind of not enemies, but they're not friends. They don't really get along. She doesn't really like him. And then her childhood crush moves back. Michael moves back into town. He goes to school with them again. And Wes is friends with him. So she asks Wes to help her basically get with Michael so that they can fall in love because she's obsessed with him. And he agrees. She offers up the parking spot forever if he were to help her, or if he helps her. Super cute. I think I read this in one day. I'm not even gonna lie. I love Wes and Liz. I love this book. I was giggling, kicking my feet, screaming the entire time. Like, I literally highlighted so much. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I'm ecstatic. I love it. Wes is one of my main book boyfriends. I'm obsessed with him. Liz is so lovely. It's so rom-com. Like, it's literally like a rom-com movie. And it's perfect. I don't know. It has nothing wrong with it. Like, it's absolutely perfect. No mistakes were made with this book. Lynn Painter ate and left no crumbs. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. 5 stars. 5 stars. Still, it has not changed. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's amazing. The next book I read, I don't have the copy yet. I do have the first 4 books because those are the ones that came out in the Target exclusive edition. But the next 2 aren't coming out, or the last 2 aren't coming out until like February. That book is Releasing 10. It's a reread, obviously. I read this in August. It's following Huey and Liz. They've known each other since their childhood. She's best friends with his sister. And we're really focusing on Lizzie's childhood trauma and her struggles growing up. And it's very, 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 very triggering. So be wary when you start this series, or if you read this book. It's really hard. It's a hard read because of how triggering it is and how traumatizing, especially for Lizzie, seeing these traumas that she went through. So yeah, we're following her, we're following Huey, and you're understanding their characters. You are growing up with them, it feels like. And it's just so devastating, such a devastating story. I think about it every day. I'm not even lying. I actually love this book with my whole being. After I read this book in August, I was in a slump for like a month after I read it because nothing was comparing to it because it was so good. And the next book for them is coming out, I think, in 2026, February or March of 2026. I don't know. It hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, it's amazing. I have no other words. It's so good. And you're kind of following, it's in the series, you're following this entire friend group, and each friend in the group gets their own books. So the first 2 books is Johnny and Shannon. The next 2 books is Joey and Aoife. The next 2 is Gibbsy and Claire, and then Huey and Liz, and then Katie and Patrick don't have their books yet. But yeah, we're literally following an entire friend group and their struggles, especially as teenagers, and different things that have gone wrong in their lives and what has happened to them and how they're supporting each other. And it's just like so devastating, but also so heartwarming at the same time. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Obviously, still 5 stars. The next book I read was Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. I was literally on TikTok and I'm seeing everyone raving about this book and because the show had just come out. So this book was like, everyone was talking about it and how amazing it is. And I was like, okay, now I need to read it because I want to watch the show. So, of course, I had to pick that up this month. And we're following Ilya and Shane, and they are hockey players, but they are on rival teams. And they kind of have a situationship going on. And we're following them through years of just their hockey seasons and their love and everything. And by the end, like, it's so good. Like, the beginning, I will admit, I was like, because I'm not really friends with benefits, not even friends, enemies with benefits kind of girl. Like, I don't really like that. I really like and enjoy the romance and the pining and the slow burn of it. But by the end, I literally was like, oh my gosh, it's so good, because you as you're reading it, you see them slowly grow. My books just fell. Hold on. You watch their feelings just slowly grow more and more for each other. And it's just so sweet and so heartwarming. And it's just so good. It's so good. It's so cute. The show was really good too. I really enjoyed it. We're basically just following them in their hockey experience and them sort of falling in love. And it kind of really is. Not even kind of. It is a slow burn still. So I really enjoyed it. It was so cute, so good. Overall, 4 stars. Ate that shit up, left no crumbs. I will be reading The Long Game. Honestly, probably in January, because I was gonna wait until the next season came out so it's like fresh on my mind. But I keep almost getting spoiled on TikTok for The Long Game. And I'm like, shut up. I haven't read it yet. But then, so I was like, I might as well just read it now, because now I'm also invested and I want to know how their story ends, because they have 2 books. But I probably won't read any of the other books in the series just because I don't really care. Like, one of the characters in Heated Rivalry, he has his own book. I think it's like the 2nd book. And I just like, wasn't really interested in his love story. And there's like a bunch of other hockey romances, and I don't really care about their love stories either. I definitely will be reading The Long Game though, sooner rather than later probably. And then finally, the last book I read in December and in 2025, crazy to say that, was Us Against You by Fredrik Backman. I do realize I read 3 hockey books this month. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't. I don't know what happened, but I'm not complaining because they were all good. We're still following characters in the small town, and we're kind of following their struggles of, especially from what happened after the first book. We're following characters after what happened at the end of Beartown and them trying to come back from that in a way, and their struggles and their growth and all that. Following most of the same characters, some new characters. It's very focused on the struggles of the town, obviously, and especially against their rival head, obviously, because this book, everyone's obsessed with hockey. The whole town is. So yeah, super good. I binged, like, I don't even think I was halfway. I was a little less than halfway for like 4 days because there were so many holiday festivities going on, so I didn't have time to read. But then once everything slowed down, I was like less than halfway, and then I ended up reaching the halfway point and binging the rest in 2 days. So it was amazing. I was heartbroken at the end. These characters, like, even the ones that you hate them, you learn to understand them and not love them, but like, I do like, I think, almost every single character. Some of them are an exception. I will probably never like them, and not even probably it. I don't think I will ever like them. But I feel for and understand every single character and what they're going through, even if I didn't like them, especially initially in the first book. There's characters I introduce and I'm like, hate them, hate him, hate her, hate them, whatever. And by the end of this book, I was like, oh my gosh, I have no words. Like, because you're in their point of view and kind of seeing their perspective on things and their thoughts, I empathize with them. And I understand them, and I just think everyone's struggling in this small town. There's definitely a sense of community within it. We're seeing some growth. I feel like we're seeing some growth. So, yeah. Overall, are we surprised? 5 stars. I had 6 5-stars this month. Actually, wait. 6 5-stars this month. 3 of them were rereads, though. That's okay. Really, really love this book. Love this series so far. I'm reading the last book right now, so we'll see if that one's 5 stars. That could be my first 5-star of the year. We'll see though. I loved this reading month. I thought it was so good. I had literally the best time ever. I don't think anything can compare to that reading month. We'll see though. We'll see. Okay, guys, that's the end of this little reading wrap up. I hope you enjoyed. These are all the books that I read in December. I read such good ones. I'm obsessed. I will be thinking about these forever. Yeah, I'm very proud of this reading month. I'm proud of this reading year. I read a total of 106 books, guys. 106 this year. I'm so proud of myself. And I read every single day this year. I went over so many different genres. I found so many new favorites, and I just think it was so fun. I will be filming a 25 books of 2025 video. So that's probably going to come out next, and look for that because I'm going to be talking about literally my favorite books of the entire year. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed last month of the year, read 9 books. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is. So